In the scrolls of old, we learn much about the cruel warrior race known as the Sith Purebloods, a now extinct group of people that once roamed the planets of Korriban and Ziost, and many more, before around 7000 BBY, when the Dark Jedi exiled from the Jedi Order came to Korriban and made the Sith species into the Sith Order that we know today. The Purebloods before this mostly just lived and warred amongst themselves, with their only real outside threat coming from the Rakatan Empire, whom they eventually drove off of their worlds due to their leader and chosen one, the Sith Ari, King Adis. The Sith people were known for their inherent draw to the dark side of the Force, and they pioneered many kinds of sorcery and alchemy. Almost every Force-sensitive Sith pureblood has arisen to the rank of Darth, and have tried to stake their claim on the Sith Empire and leave their mark on the galaxy as a whole. However, some of our archaeologists recently discovered a buried chamber on the world of Tython, where they found records of there existing not only one, but a whole family of Sith purebloods who were Jedi, or should I say the Jedi, as this took place even before the First Great Schism many centuries ago. We've begun a deep study over the years, and invite you to come and see for yourself. But before we go on our dig, we noticed that a few passing acolytes have not yet subscribed to the channel. So if you like what we do here on the channel and want to continue seeing daily Star Wars uploads just like this one, be sure to reach out and force crush that subscribe button. Now, onto the mysteries of the Force. Our story today of a Sith pureblood that became a Jedi comes from the Legends comic known as Force Storm, Prisoner of Bogan, and Force of War. All of these are excellent comics that tell us the story of the ancient Jedi Order's first many years, and I highly recommend that you check them out. Anyway, the story follows a small group of Jedi journeyers as they do their part in the war against the Rakatan Empire, and struggle with the new dark side ideals being shown to the ancient Sith. One of our heroes is actually a Sith pureblood by the name of Seknos Wrath. Seknos Wrath was the grandson of Mirta Sek and Thok Wrath, two very accomplished Jedi Masters, with his grandmother, Mirtra, being a powerful and well-renowned healer in the Jedi Order. Seknos himself was not just any Jedi, he was powerful, wise, and perhaps a little prideful, but very caring. Unlike what we have seen from many others of the Sith pure-blooded species, Seknos and his family cared deeply for the balance in the Force, and his grandmother Mirtra cared so much even that she strictly specialized in the light side ability of Force healing. We first meet Seknos in one of the Jedi temples, showing off his power to a group of admiring girls to impress them. He was quite a ladies' man in the temple, and many times have a group of Jedi females following him to see his power within the Force. Seknos attempts to combine Force lightning into a ball. However, he slips after losing his focus upon seeing a Force vision. Accidentally shocking himself, his grandparents finally come in. They then shoo away the group of fans, and begin scolding him, playing around with Force lightning being exceptionally dangerous. This scene is very interesting to me, as Mirta Sek goes on to say this: Force lightning calls on dark emotions only, nothing light. Why do you feel compelled to constantly test the boundaries of the balance? Do you do so to satisfy your own pride? Seknos would laugh off her claims and simply say that in order to gain knowledge, he needed experience, and he would then proceed to run off to do his next task. It is interesting to me because the Sith family is very cautious around the abilities of the dark side, which of course makes sense, which perhaps gives us a little bit more insight as to where they came from. Unfortunately, it is not told to us who Seknos' parents were, how his family got to Tython in the first place, or why they decided to become Jedi at all. Though using context clues, we can mostly deduce that perhaps they may have been born differently, and didn't care much for how their race of Sith warriors went around things on Korriban. Or perhaps the family simply were born and raised on the world of Tython for generations past. But what we do know is that this family is unlike any other Sith species that we've ever seen before. During the entirety of the Star Wars story, Seknos continues to show that he is polite, caring, and a great friend, who only ever really gets worked up if his other friends are in danger. He sacrifices himself at one point in order to save his friends, but luckily lives from the incident. While he is a bit prideful and naive, he constantly proves to be a genuinely good person, and one of the best Jedi initiates that the Order has to offer, going against what it means previously to be a Sith pureblood. Again, the Sith pureblooded species were so naturally attuned to the dark side of the Force that many of them were born with the yellow Sith eyes, and held incredible natural affinity in the darkness from birth, similar to the likes of the Zabraks. Of course though, like the Zabraks, some of them were capable of turning to the light side and even even becoming Jedi. Of course, Seknos Wrath and his family wouldn't be the last Sith Pureblood Jedi, as there was one other. Those of you familiar with the Old Republic will recognize the name of Praven. Originally a Sith warrior by Darth Angral, Praven actually participated in the sacking of the Jedi Temple in 3653 BBY by Darth Malgus. In the subsequent war, Praven was sent out to find superweapons for his master, who was preparing to use as many as he could against the Republic. This led Praven to find the shock drum on Tatooine protected by a lone Jedi Knight. However, Praven's sense of honor caused him to disobey his master and challenge the Jedi to a duel instead of destroying Tatooine with a superweapon, and the Jedi was able to convince the Sith Lord and pure-blooded Sith Lord to abandon the dark side and become a Jedi himself. Finding a new purpose as a Jedi Padawan, Praven learned the ways of the light side and gladly joined the Republic military for the remainder of the Great Hyperspace War. So while we only know now of 4 Sith pure-blooded Jedi, this proves to us that anyone is capable of using the light, dark, or balance of the Force, no matter what species of origin they are. Each of these people chose the path that they were on, and proved to be something more than what they were dictated to be by their species. It's incredibly interesting to find Darksiders who decided to follow the light, even though we've been told that something like this is impossible for a Sith pureblood. Only Sith Lords who don't want to lose subjects and Jedi Masters, who don't want apprentices venturing towards the dark side, believe that no one can come back from it. But anyway, my friends, if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to let us know your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on some of the only Sith pure-blooded Jedi? And as always, my friends, may the Force be with you, and I hope to see you in the next video.